Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Wildcat Stadium. I'm Dave Siseski alongside Travis Wilson. Travis, we're here for this OCTV broadcast. Going to be an exciting one. It's a rivalry game.
Yes.
One of the biggest ones of the year, certainly here. It's Lake Orion and Oxford. Excited for this one tonight, huh?
Absolutely. You know, you have Coach Bell coming in, who's been with the Lake Orion staff for quite some time. Probably longer than I've been around. Maybe not that long, but he's been around quite some time. Has developed a phenomenal athletics program with the football team here, and they do everything right. Whether it's throwing the ball, whether it's running the ball, they do everything right. A lot of little things, lots of details. Helps them win big football games. Coming in hot.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the history of this matchup. Listen, in the last 10 ball games, hasn't went on the side of Oxford, but this is a new year. This is a tough team here. Yes. Zach Line, as we know, is building something special here in Oxford.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to the last time that Oxford did win that ball game a couple years ago. That was in 2021. You remember that ball game,
yes.
right? 51-27 Oxford. So completely dominated from snap to snap. Hopefully they can do the same today. If they are going to get that victory, though, Travis, I think they're going to have to get that offense going.
Very much so. You're going to have to lean on your playmakers. Excuse me. You're going to look at Luke Johnson. You're going to have to pound the rock. And when he's down, you're going to have to rely on your younger guy, Preston Wilder. He's going to have to come and have a huge game because this is going to be a dogfight.
We'll see. We'll be back right after this. It's going to be a good matchup. Oxford, Lake Orion, kickoff coming up next.
Barron Industries, located right here in Oxford, Michigan, is celebrating over 100 years of metal casting excellence in serving many of the world's leading manufacturing companies that rely on Barron Industries for turnkey solutions for many of the most complex and safety-critical industries. Since 1983, Barron Industries has been a trusted partner to the world's leading aerospace and defense companies. Barron Industries, proud sponsor of Oxford football.
Good evening. Welcome to Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Oxford High School for tonight's varsity football game between the visiting Dragons of Lake Orion and your Oxford Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, welcome the Oxford Wildcat Marching Band.
Let's hear it again for your 2024 Oxford Wildcat Marching Band. Wildcat Band is under the leadership of drum major Olivia Grant, Cole Dedeker, Caden Adams, and Tara Gibbons. And now, get up on your feet and join the band in the Oxford fight song.
I don't know if you guys realize what you have in this room, but I do. I've been there. I know what it looks like. It starts with your work ethic. It starts with you believing in each other, caring about each other. We look around and you don't let each other down. Everybody picks it up just a little bit more. It always comes down to who's more physical. That's what it's about. It's what it's always been about. And we got to be at our very best today. We have the talent here. There's no excuses. We are ready. This is going to be so special. It is going to be special. And you can mark it down. You know, I never said anything that I don't believe to be the truth. And I'm telling you right now, we are going to be special. We are ready to be champions. That's what this day is going to be about. At this time, we would like to ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome in, everybody, to beautiful Wildcat Stadium. David Seski alongside my partner, Travis Wilson. This is going to be a classic OAA Red matchup between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Oxford Wildcats. Want to remind everybody, this broadcast tonight is brought to you by Barron Industries.
Barron Industries, located here in Oxford, Michigan, and serving many of the world's leading manufacturing companies that rely on Barron Industries for turnkey solutions for many of the most complex and safety-critical industries. Celebrating 100 years of metal casting excellence. Since 1983, Barron Industries has been a trusted partner to the world's leading aerospace and defense companies. Proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Home game that we were here a couple weeks ago. They were impressive against Harper Woods, 38-0. Let's hope we get some more of that. Let's go in quickly with some of our keys of this matchup. I'll give you one right off the bat. Run the ball. That's the identity of this Wildcats team. They got to get this ball to Luke Johnson. Travis?
Yeah, Luke Johnson is going to be such a big factor tonight that you got to think Lake Orion's going to be looking for it. So that's where you got to lean on Jack Hendricks. And that air offense went pretty darn good against Harper Woods. Let's see what we got tonight.
Well, Oxford is going to get the ball first here, so we'll hopefully get that offense clicking because it's got a lot of talent on that ball. And we know Johnson is a big key as well, but Hendricks as well, a quarterback. And here's the kickoff, and that's going to go out of the end zone for the touchback. So let's talk a little bit about that offense. Travis?
Yeah, Luke, obviously, huge factor with our offense. Zach Lyons obviously made us that as our identity of just pounding the rock, and I love it. I love that old school smash mouth football. But I think tonight we're going to see some more airtime.
Yep, talking about Jack Hendricks, the junior at quarterback, threw for 4 touchdowns the last time we were here at home. They looked near perfect. Johnson in the backfield. Hendricks under center with the receiver in motion there. They'll hand off to Johnson, who goes up the middle. He'll pick up some positive yards, and that's what he does. He can use that body, that power, lowers his shoulder, and just says, try to tackle me.
Absolutely. Right in between the tackles. Hey, mano y mano. Who's gonna beat who, right? We'll take 5 yards all day, every day, especially on first down. Make second and third way more manageable.
And you know, this means something. It's not just a game. Obviously, it's an OAA red game, but listen, this division last year went through Lake Orion. You have to think it's going to do the same this year. This will be a huge one for Oxford. 2nd down and 5. Hendricks passes over to his receiver on the right side flat. He'll pick up maybe 1 yard on the play, but that'll set up a 3rd down and 5 or 4, somewhere around there. But this is a good test, a barometer for this team, I'd say.
Extremely. You got to think it's a bit of a revenge game, too. We had, obviously, our regular season game with them last year. Didn't go so hot. Playoffs came. We were a totally different team from the first time that we met them last year. Really came out and punched them in the mouth, if you will. Ended up losing the game, but you got to think that these kids want it.
3rd down and 3. Hendricks in the shotgun. Johnson behind it. He'll hand off to Johnson. Johnson goes behind his tackle there. Picks up a couple yards, pushing his way through the pile. Always has those legs to churn it. And he looks like he's going to come up just a tad short. No, they're going to move them chains. I tell you what, in the initial hit, didn't think he'd pick that up, but that's a guy that you can tell. The strong lower body just kept him moving, and he moved that pile as well.
Yeah, any young running back watching right now, that is textbook too. Keeping your feet moving, keeping those feet driving, getting those extra inches, and gutting it out for a 1st down.
1st down and 10 from the 31. Oxford already with 1 first down. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson on the left side. Got some room. Gets another 1st down. Hurdles a man out of bounds. Showing his athleticism. You love it. They're just selling out completely for that 1st down. Wildcats looking pretty strong early on, Travis.
You could see the athleticism that the guy thinks he's the best athlete on the field, because he probably is. Let's be honest. Phenomenal athlete, whether he's on the wrestling mat or on the football field. I love dual sport athletes, especially football players that wrestle.
We've already talked about it a couple times. One of the captains in this team wears that number 42, and as we said many times, that 42, very, very special here for Tate Meir.
Extremely, extremely special here. A goal for any football player coming up in the Oxford program.
1st down and 10. Check that out. Wide open. This one's going to go all the way. The 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Wildcats. Oh, off the play action. Hendricks hits his man for the score. That was absolutely beautiful. That goes to the senior, Dean Rice.
Dean Rice, a favorite target for Jack. was quite literally held to almost nothing last week. I was excited to see the play call because a great play action. They do this a lot. Last year, it tacked on like 47 yards on one play, 43 yards on another play, and here we go with a touchdown for 6.
These boys just like playing at home. I'll tell you what, Travis, that was a perfect call on play action. Had the ball moving. What does the run game open? The pass game.
Bingo, exactly.
And the extra point is clear through there. That would have hit a couple extra points. Katie hits it.
Yep.
Oxford up 7-0. And Travis, I'll tell you what, you can't start better than that. That's perfect.
You really can't. You set the tone with pounding the rock, and then, hey, guess what? We're going to catch you sleeping with a little dump pass to our tight end down the sideline for 6.
And here's the key, okay, for this Oxford team. Last week, they did lose that ball game. They were up 7-3 at halftime, so that defense has played strong. They just have to adjust in that second half. But, hey, I tell you what, they want more than 7 points this half. They're just going to keep pounding the rock, and hopefully that opens up that pass game.
And they're going to need it too, because Lake Orion's averaging over 31 points a game, put up 32 against a pretty stout Troy team who made it a game. I would say at least first and second quarter, Lake Orion had their starting QB come out, unfortunately, and it seemed like it was off to the races, though, because the kids are running quarterback.
Listen to this, Travis. I mean, you talked about the Orion offense. Their defense just giving up 8.5 points a game. So already you got 7 points on your first drive. Listen, this is promising. If this was a test, that's an A+ so far.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. And, of course, you have Katie to tack on that extra point. Been offered by GVSU and Northwood for a reason.
That's it. You got senior Kyle England, number 5, back with 22. Senior Jackson Vasquez. That's going to go to England. England returns it from his 10. Gets some room up the middle. What a tackle there by the special teams for Oxford.
Pavlov.
Johnny on the spot, man.
Tabor, I'm sorry.
That's number 19. As you said, always in the right spot. Makes a big play there. We'll hopefully get some good play from this Oxford defense, who last time were at home against Harper Woods, a couple of receptions, some big-time plays, and they cashed in as well. Got to make sure they can win this turnover battle.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Lake Orion come out here with their usual stuff, but also I wouldn't be surprised to see him take the shot right downfield right off the bat. See where if they can catch Oxford's defense on their heels, something that may not be expected.
Trying to see if that is Hill, and it looks like it is Hill. It's number 8, actually, at quarterback for Lake Orion. That's a completed pass, and that's going to get another first down. So I got Tristan Hill down at number 6. Yeah, I know he was banged up last game.
Look like number 8?
Looks like Brody Thompson's in there. And I got to tell you, I have not seen Brody Thompson play yet, but I can tell you that Tristan Hill is a talented senior. So Brody Thompson, the junior in there, Hill getting a little banged up last game and getting some action in here.
Yeah.
Talk about a big first start, huh?
Rushlow on the reception for that. And, again, a great first down play. Get a good chunk of yards and end around here that's snuffed out by Brandon Cass.
Perfectly played there by the Oxford defense. So we talked in the pregame. Listen, that offense is lethal, and that's led by Tristan Hill. So you had mentioned that there was a possible injury. Well, we can confirm that now. I mean, it certainly looks like it because he's not in the game. So that's a big loss for the Dragons.
Yeah, I reached out to one of the coaches here in Oxford and asked him, hey, have you heard, is Tristan Hill active for tonight? He said, we're preparing as though he is. Whether that is, in fact, what's going to happen tonight, we're going to prepare if he is, and then we'll adjust accordingly.
Well, Barrero there in the backfield. Quarterback drops back, hits his man. Big receiver there, picks up another first down. I got to tell you, the way he stepped up in that pocket, delivered that ball, this offense is not missing a step at all.
And then being able to step up and with pressure coming onto his blind side, that's pretty big for a junior quarterback who probably hasn't seen the field too much, at least at the varsity level, at least in the last couple games that I've seen.
And I'll tell you what, if you got your backup quarterback in there throwing like they are, they're keeping the game plan the same way they would at any other game, that shows a lot of confidence. So that tells me you're still going to see some air raid here by this Dragon offense. It's going to set up a first down and 10 from the 48 near midfield here.
Vasquez 22 is probably going to get in the mix here in just a little bit, I would assume, along with number
hands
1.
It off to Barrero, and Barrero goes up the middle. So Barrero and Vasquez, 2 of their skilled players, and they got some speed down there on that side of the ball as well.
Yeah, 22. This is on the shorter side. All of 5'8". But he packs a punch, and he's quick.
Are you
super
calling
shifty.
me short? Because I think I'm 5'8".
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So
I'm not quick, and I can't pack a punch. So I just have short height, I guess. So there you go. Second down and 6 from the 44. This Wildcat defense trying to get a stop here. There's a pitch over for the receiver who was in motion. Now he's going to pick up a first down. Another first down, and I tell you what, this Dragon offense is looking pretty lethal, even without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, the game plan for Lake Orion's got to be, hey, we're going to lean on your seniors. That being one of them, Jamari Cooper right there on the end around. A nice little pitch out, utilizing their speed, going to have to play to their strengths. Lake Orion's front 7 is probably one of the best front 7s in the OAA. They're a phenomenal pack, and they really get after the ball.
How do you utilize that? Speed, you get guys in motion. They've done a lot of that in this first drive.
Yep.
Got some skill here. That'll set up first down and 10 from the 35. 6:48 left in this first quarter. 7-0 Oxford. Lake Orion with the handoff up the middle. You talked about him. I believe that's number 22, Vasquez, picking up a first down. Shifty run there as well from Vasquez, the 5'8", 160-pound senior.
Yeah, and something that you'll see is kind of that motion away with the trap behind it, and that's exactly what it was here. He had that guard pull up and through, get into second level, allowing that play to develop, and get a pretty decent chunk of yards, unfortunately.
And moves it up all the way to the 22, so this Dragon offense moving consistently, running that ball and passing it. Oxford looking for a stop here. First down and 10. Handoff again. That goes to number 1, Jaden Barrero. He doesn't get anything because a couple Wildcats there to disrupt it. Couple guys, huh?
Yeah, Krupa and Johnson. Krupa almost had that wide open pick against Harper Woods right here in front of the bench.
And then he did get one.
And then he ended up getting, I think it was 2 altogether against Harper Woods.
So could have had the hat trick, huh?
Yeah, would have been incredible. But nonetheless, the 2 of them last week combined for like 18 tackles. Yeah, slightly active on the defense.
They're around the play at all times.
Yeah.
Just really good vision on defense, and they're playmakers out there. So second down and 10. Nothing on that first down run. Receiver in motion again. They'll hand it off to him, but Oxford there once again. What a play. That's led by number 25, Dean Rice.
Dean Rice definitely gets his time in at linebacker, sometimes a little bit of end, I would assume, especially with 56. Phillips out for today.
And he had a touchdown, making a good play on defense. So, hey, you get your athletes out there that play on both sides of the ball, right?
Absolutely. It looks like Hunter Gainey is in spot where 56 Phillips typically would be.
So that's going to set up a third down. Big one here. First to the ball game. Oxford looking to get a stop. This would be pretty big. Third down and 9 from the 21. You got 3 receivers at the top of your screen there. They're going to call timeout. So they didn't like that look, and Oxford starting to pump up that crowd. I got to tell you, man, they didn't like the way it looked. They're going to call a timeout here, get a little bit of a reset.
That timeout, of course, brought to you by Barron Industries.
Yeah, Barron been around for 100 years in business here in Oxford. Barron Industries, our sponsor of this OCTV broadcast. To tell you what, Travis, this is a company that's been around, longevity. They always deliver. And when, like we said, if you've been around for 100 years, you're doing something good.
You don't see too many companies around that long. I can think of a handful.
I mean, that's like, isn't that how old the lady from the Titanic was? 100 years old?
Yeah, because it's been 84 years since, shoot.
The Hard Diamond and
yeah,
all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Here we go, third down or 9 from the 21. Oxford with some pressure, and hit quarterback's going down. That's a sack. How about it? Luke Johnson.
Huge. Only had 2 tackles for losses last game, and you're going to have it all game, keeping this pressure on a young quarterback too. I love the play call, whether that was a design blitz or not. I love the read for him to come out and just take him down in the backfield.
Well, it looks like the kicking team going to come out here. So this is at the 29. Let's do the math here. Head on 17 right there. So that is going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt. So if he can come up with this, that's next level kicker.
Fingers crossed we don't see a D'Antonio Sparty Notre Dame call here.
Oh, please no. Here it is. The hold is good. The kick is up. And it's
through.
good.
Wow, impressive.
46 yards away. What a leg. You just got to tip the cap. What a kick by that young man.
Pavlak, close. Last week had a blocked PAT, which really kind of changed the dynamic of the game. And then immediately afterwards, 97-yard to the house on the following return. Incredible. Guy's a phenomenal athlete.
You know, we got to mention out there, too, Jim Hughes watching eating some popcorn, watching this game, and also the Tigers. Hey, we know, listen, the Tigers, how about a run by them? I mean, I'm going to call it right now. I'm saying they're going to the playoffs.
Best best team in the league since I think it was August 11th, something like that. 25-10. Thanks, Baez. Appreciate it. Pretty sure it was.
So no score in the top of the first. Orioles and Tigers. We'll keep you up with that one. We'll keep you up with some other scores. And also, how about the pesky Twins? No score against the Red Sox in the first as well. We just want them Twins to keep losing. Here's the kickoff. Oxford ready to receive.
On the 9.
About up by the 10, the 15, and some room there. All the way up to around the 25 is Pavlak.
Yeah, he's just last week at least, he averaged 62.5 yards on his returns. That's huge. You're able to put your offense somewhere in enemy territory to start their drive.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, they look really, really good, too, in this opening drive. Last time out there, they had the pass working, they had the run going, and why not go right back to it and pound that rock? Johnson in the backfield. You got two receivers at the bottom of your screen. Good job by Hendricks on a low snap. Hands it off to Johnson, but you got some penetration there by the Dragons. They sniffed that out pretty easily, and you have to think that maybe because of that low snap, slowed that play down just a little bit.
Yeah, the timing on these plays is so crucial, whether that be a trap or whether that be maybe a counter or just straight up man-to-man on your trying to work to second level. That little bit of a delay, crucial.
And listen, this is a defense, what we said. They were only giving up 8.5 points all year against their opponents. So coming off a shutout, gave up 16 their other two games, but they can play. That'll set up a second down and 12 on the 2-yard loss from the 23, 7-3 ball game. Hendricks drops back, some pressure, rolls to the left, looking for somebody downfield, throws it up, but out of bounds. So threw that one away, you'd think there, and doing a good job getting away from that pressure, doesn't get a negative play.
Yeah, you think, I would, let's rewind to even last year. I think he's matured immensely over the last two seasons. That play, he probably tries to fit it into a tight window, maybe gets a deflection on the best outcome. Most likely interception, though. Great for him to try to kind of put it near the only way his player could get it, but ultimately out of bounds.
I mean,
Smart.
that's growth from your junior right there, right? That's
Huge.
A big-time play. 3rd down and 12. Hendricks, empty backfield. Looks to Johnson. Johnson in the flat. Got some room and ahead of him. Makes a move. Gets by the defense and picks up another Wildcat first down. What a play.
They ran that
fast.
They ran that play twice last week. Once, Clarkson sniffed it out, and it was tackled almost right at the line of scrimmage. Other time, though, snuck out for a first down. I was giving like 9 yards maybe, but crucial time in the game and moved the sticks just like we did now.
Love that call, too. Empty backfield. Listen, it's 12 yards to go. Why not put your running back out there? Good receiver as well. Johnson picks it up, takes it all the way up to the 43. First down here. Johnson back in the backfield. Takes that carry, gets a couple yards. Talk about the motor of this young man as well. Plays on both sides of the ball, and he's used quite a bit on offense as well to be young.
Anybody that's able to play both sides of the ball with minimal time off the field, you can bet that they are, one, have a ton of stamina, and two, are probably a dual sport athlete,
How
too.
about Travis Hunter, right? That's one of that I can think of, right? And does it good on both sides of the ball. So we got a 2nd down and 9 from the 44. Johnson back there. Again, fake handoff to him. Hendricks drops back. Got him, man. Throws it up. Hits him in stride all the way at the end of the 30-yard line and thrown out of bounds. That's Jake Champagne. Champagne picking up the 1st down. Beautiful execution by Hendricks once again.
We threw the ball, I think it was 15 times last week. 4 of those targets went Champagne's way. He reeled in 3 of them for just over 60 yards, 2 of those being chunk plays, 30-plus yards. You keep looking for it because it's coming back to number 9 is going to get his number called again.
Loving the play call so far for this team. Setting up that pass, that run, that ground and pound, and using the play action to perfection. So we got a 1st down and 10 from the 26, 7-3 ball game. Johnson in the backfield. Hand off to him. He'll go up the middle, gets by the tackle, goes all the way up inside the 10. He's still going inside the 5 and moving it all the way down near the 2-yard line. Looks about to be, I tell you what, that is Oxford Wildcat football to a T.
The grit, right? You got to think that the kid just is eyeballing that end zone, was trying to make sure that he was getting there. Stopped just short, but man, what an effort.
Yeah, he did not give up, had them legs a churning. You know what? They're probably going right back to him. And we did see also a couple weeks ago a play action. And Hendricks was wide open, so we'll see.
They'll leak 7 Katie across
Johnson.
the way too.
Johnson up the middle. I do believe he's just short there. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, maybe the 1 there. Not a lot of room.
Rewind 4 plays where they had Johnson leak out of the backfield. They'll do something similar too. They'll put 7 Katie in motion, drag him across into the field side, and it's just a nice little dink and dunk pass. Wouldn't be surprised to see somewhere tonight.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's wide open too. So we got 40 seconds here. This is probably going to be the last play of this first quarter. 2nd down and 1. Johnson back there in the backfield. Hand off to him again. Johnson powers his way in for a Wildcat touchdown. Oh, baby. His legs are churning and using that power. How about this start?
You got a kid that runs 1,100 yards like he did last season. Why not just keep giving him the rock, right?
I mean, he's eating right now. We got a 13-3 start. I tell you what, these cats know how to play, and they're playing a rivalry game right now, and I think they're feeling it.
I've always thought that rivalry games, whether it's Michigan State, Notre Dame, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, athletes just play up to a whole nother level, especially when it's a crosstown rivalry. Maybe you grew up with the kids, right? And you see old friends that you always used to have some fun, great memories created. And our score now, 14-3.
And listen, you get bragging rights for the rest of your life, right? This is high school football. This is beautiful. Friday night lights, under the lights here in Wildcat Stadium. OC TV here with you, Travis and Dave. And it doesn't feel like work when you're watching the team play like this. This is a lot of fun. Up 14-3. I mean, not a lot of people would have predicted this start, but hey, not a lot of people would have predicted 38-0 against Harper Woods.
No, not at all. On paper, that score should have been flip-flopped easily. But in fact, we came out on top. Awesome to see. Jim, love the updates, man. I would love to, if you can keep going with some more scores, that'd be that'd be awesome.
Talk about Jim, man. He's a big member of this crew and getting us some sponsors and getting us some scores too.
Yeah, tied up Cass and MLK, is that what it was? Yeah, Cass Tech.
Here's the kickoff, and how about the big leg of Katie, man? I think he had like 7 or 8 touchbacks last week in the first half. I mean, it was just like
against Harper Woods.
Exactly. Yes. 2 weeks ago. It was absolutely amazing, man. So we got a 14-3 score right now. 26 seconds left. We'll probably get one more playoff, but listen, in terms of time of possession, Oxford is absolutely dominated out there. And they played good defense as well. Lake Orion obviously did have a little bit of a longer drive there, but you got to count that as a win if you hold them to 3 points in this first quarter.
Especially against an offense that's putting up 30-plus points a game, to hold them to just 3 points.
We got pressure again. A couple guys in there.
Initial
bringing them down.
Initial contact was Hunter Gainey. Love it off the end.
Krupa was in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll bring this clock down, and that is all we're going to have in this first quarter. So score of 14-3 to end the first quarter. Oxford Wildcats playing strong on both sides of the ball, Travis. This has been a lot of fun, man.
Incredibly fun to watch. If you're able to watch on OCTV's live stream, wave hi. Say where you're watching from. I'd love to know.
And we'll say hi back.
And we'll say hi back. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, we want to also remind people that this broadcast is brought to you by Barron Industries. Barron Industries, celebrating over 100 years in business here in beautiful Oxford.
Please know that the Oxford Community School, which is the athletic
So, Travis, if you are Zach Line and the staff here and you're talking to your team, what's your message going into this second quarter?
Don't forget the little things. Obviously, things are working well, right? But you've got to make sure that you continue to put pressure on them on defense, obviously. Second, the little things in the offense, remembering, from an offensive lineman standpoint, hey, communicating between your guards, your tackles, your centers, what have you. Hey, the defense had 3 technique, they were in a 5 technique last time. All right, who's helping who?
That's it.
Communicate little things. It's going to be big.
And don't make, as coaches would say, the stupid penalties, right? Be sound, and they're doing that right now. They're playing mistake-free football, and here they are, second down and 10 on defense from the 20. We're throwing. That ball goes through the arms of a receiver. And a couple of Wildcats in the area.
Yeah, intended for Vasquez, and I believe it was Carpenter right there to meet him pretty much instantly. A great safety from a coaching standpoint, great safety technique there. Backpedal, reading keys, reading his wide receiver. As soon as he sees ball in the air, puts his foot in the ground, comes up, makes a hit. Thankfully, incomplete. Either way, would have been a very sure tackle right there.
How can you not love JR saying a Wildcat third down? We got a third down here and 10 from the 20. See if this defense can come up with another stop. Brody Thompson in the Dragon offense out there. Thompson drops back, looks for his receiver and hits him in stride. That's a first down and more. That's number 5, Kyle England, who picks up the big first down. And they'll move the chains for the Dragons.
That's a tough throw, too. Across the field on an out route. Looks like we might have had even a QB switch. Is that number 12 out there now? Anderson Adams, a sophomore, 6'2".
So how about that? Anderson Adams in there now. Brody Thompson was in to start this game, and it looks like
he's back in. Interesting. We've seen a little bit of maybe what we might see tomorrow with the Michigan game.
We're going to see a lot of Alex Orgy out there and
yes,
probably less Davis Warren. We'll see. Yeah, Brody Thompson back out there. Hands it off, and the Wildcats are right there to meet him. A couple guys there on the tackle.
Gainey.
Dean Rice in there as well, too.
Dean Rice, absolutely. You're going to see lots of numbers and names called on a tackle. And realistically, that's what you love from a defense coordinator.
100%.
As many hats to the ball as possible. As soon as that first initial contact is made, swarm.
We got Go Cats from Mulberry Hills watching from Norman. Go Dragons. Okay, so we got both teams watching. And hey, we like anybody watching, right? So we'll shout out to both teams. Obviously, we're here for the Wildcats, but here's a second down and 9 play here. A pitch to the running back. Picks up about 1 yard on the play, but got somebody that says they're going to run across the field. Please don't. Big Detroit rivalry. King 6 versus Cass Tech, nothing. A lot of NFL players from both schools.
Yes.
Surprised on that one as well.
Yes. I forget what the exact number was, but there was something about, I think it was 2 or 3 years of X amount, let's just say 10 players from both teams were drafted within the first 3 rounds of the NFL
Lots of
draft.
talent. 3rd down and 7. Dragons, drop back, pass, first down, pick up there. Looks like it's right at the sticks.
We're going to see
Might be a
measurement.
little short. Are we going to? It's hard to see up here, but that is going to be a little bit short.
Yeah, I think initially he caught the ball
He came back.
and came back and bobbled it too as he was going to the ground.
I'm not saying the receiver did it here, but Travis, one of the things that drives me crazy, you see it in the pros, colleges, when a receiver has that first down and he comes back behind the line. You know that drives coaches crazy too.
Immensely, actually, to be completely honest. You want to keep going north and south. A very short 4th down try here.
They pick it up. Yep, that's
Pass.
number 1.
Cass
Barrero.
on the tackle, and you saw Carpenter in there trying to rip that ball out. Textbook.
How about Oxford 2024 alumni Charlie Campbell tuning in? We love it, man. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. Having some fun in the broadcast booth. Dave Siseski alongside Travis Wilson. So we got a first down and 10 from the 44 now. 14-3 Wildcats up on the Dragons. Dragons driving though. Hand off to receiver in the motion. That was a fake quarterback sneak up the middle there. Picking up some positive yardage is number 8, Brody Thompson. I got to tell you, for Brody Thompson, you know, you have to think he maybe knew a lot earlier than we did, Travis. I'd hope so, right, that he was getting this start with their starter banged up. But so far, he's come in, he's made some big throws, and as you see there, using his legs as well.
Yeah. And so far, at least this drive, he's been on any play that's been a run or a rush, and then Adams is in and when we're going to the air. So it'd be interesting to see if they mix that up a little bit.
Thompson with Barrero in the backfield. Barrero, big back there. And we got our first flag on the field. So that was a lot of time without our first flag, but nevertheless got some yellow on the field. Wildcats saying that's against Lake Orion.
That penalties hurt us last week, too. When we had a huge stop late in the 3rd, minute left, 4th and 5, and unfortunately had a 15-yard penalty, continue the drive. 3 plays later, they score, they go up.
Well, good news. That wasn't against the Wildcats. So, hey, there's a holding on the offense. I thought it might have been something like that or somebody moved early, but no, that's exactly it. Listen, if you're going to win this ball game, you're going to have to play good offense like they are, run that ball, hit your passes like Hendricks has done so far when that ground game opens it up, and you can't make mistakes. And so far, mistake-free football.
Mistake-free football is a huge key tonight for an Oxford win.
Empty backfield here. 3 receivers on the top of your screen. 2nd down and 14. And out there again is number 12, hitting his receiver. Number 5, Kyle England. So 12, Anderson Adams out there throwing that ball. Adams coming back to the sideline. So they are playing 2 quarterbacks here, kind of seeing who's got the hot hand.
Yeah, it seems as though, hey, they may or may not trust 8's throwing capabilities, and 12's got a beautiful ball. Beautiful ball.
How about that 1977 alumni here in Leonard? He's got 2 grandsons playing Wildcat football. Go Wildcats. Love that. That's Country Girl 330. Thanks for tuning in. So how about a 3rd down?
Andrew Barrett on that last tackle. He had almost 10 tackles last week.
Anderson Adams back out there. Barrero in the backfield. Adams drops back, looking for a receiver, and he can't throw it because that's another Wildcat sack. Oh, man. Johnson, once again, does he ever stop making plays? The answer, Travis, is no.
You're not wrong, Dave. It's incredible to see this kid is all over the field, and he finds a way to come up with the ball or make a tackle. It's amazing.
I mean, the motor on this young man, you see why he's wearing that Tate Meir 42, right? Tate Meir had a motor, right? You could give him the ball, and on defense he was making plays. Special young man, special player. Shout out to the Meir family as well. Special part of this community. And, you know, it's this is a special area for football. I keep using that word, but really that's how you can, that's a word that comes to mind, right? When you think of Oxford football and the community, everybody here on both sides, Lake Orion, Oxford, what a matchup this is. It's just a lot of fun, man.
It's the place to be on Friday night, especially crosstown rivalry. I don't think I've ever seen the stands and that whole side of the field that packed at all. It's awesome.
Travis, you know what else is awesome? Barron Industries. They're our sponsor for this broadcast. They're celebrating over 100 years in business. Shout out to Barron Industries. We thank them so much for what they're doing and having a lot of fun and bringing this broadcast to you tonight for OCTV. So we got a 4th down and 22. They're going to punt. Looks like Padlock back there. This one's going to bounce in front of him. He'll look to it, but does the right play and goes away from that ball. Don't want to pick that up and create a turnover. So that's a great punt by the Dragons. They're putting Oxford inside their 5-yard line. It's going to be a tough drive. I mean, from your special teams, you can't ask for a better punt.
You really couldn't. If you had said, hey, I need you to put it inside the 10-yard line every time, I'd be like, okay, absolutely. That sounds amazing. Does that happen very often in the high school level?
It doesn't.
Not much. With Katie as our punter, sure.
Different.
Totally different special teams when you have a Katie brother kicking for you. Oxford takes over and looks like just outside their 5-yard line, just by a smidge, if you will. Long field to work with, a lot of time on the clock, though.
Travis, I think you got to create a little bit more breathing room, I'd say, right? So what do? You hand off to your ground and pound back. And they hand it off to one of their tailbacks, and that is Johnson in there, and he'll pick up some positive yardage, giving his quarterback, Hendricks, a little bit more of that breathing room we talked about. You see that a lot of times. Taking that all the way up to the 11-yard line. Positive yards.
Yards after the hit. Was hit behind the line of scrimmage and came up with, appears to be a 5-yard gain. Just a true testament to his commitment to the strength in the offseason.
That's it. So that'll set up 2nd down in 5. 5:52 left in this half. 14-3 Oxford. Hendricks with Johnson in the backfield. Hands off to Johnson. Johnson with a lot of room on the left side. Johnson, he's going past the 40 here. A man's caught up to him around the 50. Check out that stiff arm. He's knocked out of bounds. Picking up some big-time yards as the big tailback senior Johnson, number 42.
Very Derrick Henry-esque, if you will, with that stiff arm.
That's exactly a King Henry out there on the Wildcat field. That was a big-time play by Johnson. A lot of room, and let's give some credit to that offensive line as well, creating some space there. Perfectly called play, and I tell you what, this play calling from this Oxford Wildcat sideline has been absolutely on fire tonight. This ball's all the way up at the 45.
There's some breathing room.
Yeah, there's some breathing room, exactly. Started at the 6-yard line, but you hate to see that. Oh, no, just a timeout. I was
saying illegal shift
you
initially.
Hold your breath a little bit. Yep.
Yes.
But there's a timeout for Oxford here with around 5 minutes left, and that'll give us a chance to talk again about our sponsor. We've said it a couple times here, but Barron Industries celebrating over 100 years.
Yeah, been in business. I think I saw something like over 120 years altogether. I'm honest to say maybe they were a different company and then officially became Barron Industries at some point, which is why it's still over 100 years. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Something else that's kind of cool, down on the sideline, the robotics team has a robotic
That's awesome.
T-shirt cannon. I don't know if we can get a shot of that, but it is pretty cool.
That is amazing. Check that robot out right there. Super awesome machine. Sam, that's what we're calling it. That's a pretty perfect name for that robot.
That is. Great job,
Wow.
Oxford Robotics. That is awesome.
Listen, the robotics team, that is future engineers of our world, right?
Easily. This play.
Here we go. Another run here for Oxford. Coming out of that timeout, picking up a couple yards.
Last game against Clarkston, it was 4th and 5 on the 49-yard line, and that play goes for a touchdown. Perfectly played. Pavlak took it around the end. There was nobody, quite literally, for miles.
But you got speed, too. Doesn't hurt.
No, not at all.
Talk about Carpenter, too. A commitment he made recently, too. We'll get into that in a little bit. 2nd down and 7 from the 42. Hendrick hands off to Johnson. Johnson making some moves, gets by the defense and picks up another Wildcat first down. A strong run, and I tell you what, you hate to be the guy in front of him trying to bring him down.
Yeah, Trey Poshmera definitely put a nice little hit on him, but Luke bounces right back up as he does every single play. Great chunky yards for a first down, keeps this drive going, and we talked about it in the beginning of the broadcast. Drive killers, it's like silly penalties, like kind of off-the-wall play call instead of sticking with the script. They've done a great job so far, continuing to drive the ball.
Johnson once again behind his quarterback there. Hendricks fakes the handoff, dropping back. Has some room up the middle. Hendricks got some room and slides just right in front of that first down. May have gotten around 7 or 8 yards, but hey, that's a positive play. Making something out of nothing from the quarterback. Hendricks showing he can move a bit too.
He's got some wheels, and he's really sneaky about it. Last year ran for just over 100 yards. You split that up over 9 games. It's not the greatest average, but when he needs to utilize his legs, he's able to go to it and make some great decisions here. Again, younger Jack probably tries to fit that into a tight window, probably an interception.
He's maturing.
Very much so, right in front of our eyes.
5 on that slide is where he starts it, but gives it back to Johnson. Johnson taking about 4 or 5 guys to bring him down. He's still not down. He still didn't go down. I think half the defense was right there.
Still. And I'm not 100% sure on the play call, but based off of what we're seeing, it looks like kind of a zone or a stretch play where he gets to pick where he's going. So the whole line is moving to the right or to the left, and then he's able to, just like he did there and 2 plays prior, cut it back into usually some more space. And that time was met pretty quickly by a slew of dragons.
Travis, I'm just going to sit back and listen to you talk football. I love it, man.
I enjoy the game. I enjoy the game for sure.
Where would you rather be on a Friday night? But right here? Nowhere. Right? This is the place to be. This is the place to be here at Wildcat Stadium. 3rd down and 4. Big play. Hendricks drops back, looking for someone downfield. Has a receiver. Hits him. Got some room and gets the first down. I believe that was Dean Rice once again, who's been involved early and often in this passing game.
Very a favorite target for Jack. He's kind of, you got to think that as he drops into the backfield, reads, goes through his progression, and then, oh, there's Dean. Okay, perfect. He's going to catch the ball. And that's exactly what was here. Dean had a real long drag route from across the formation. Probably his last read in the progression, but a great check down. Good chunk of yards to get a first down, too.
Good vibes here, not so much in Baltimore. Orioles up 3-0 right now in the 3rd over the Tigers. Still no score in Boston with the Twins, so hopefully that changes here. 1st down and 10 from the 17. Hendricks dropping back again. Pressure in his face, doesn't matter. He gets out of trouble there, but we do have a flag, and I do believe that's going to be holding. And it is.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Nolan Cumby, I believe was who was called on. Jack made a pretty darn good move. Fortunately, he's going to be coming back.
That's a tough play, though, for your offensive line, right? Trying to get you a little bit more time. And,
right.
You know, you like the move by Hendricks. Nobody was there. Don't force it downfield, but it happens, right? You don't want to see your quarterback get hit.
Very much so, and you as an offensive lineman, that is your goal, to make sure your QB has the prettiest jersey at the beginning of the game and the end of the game, because that means you did your job making sure he didn't get hit.
We got 136 viewers right now there. I tell you what, we love it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. 1st down and 20 on that penalty. Toss over to Johnson. Got some room and some blockers up front. Johnson might score. The 5, the 2, touchdown Wildcats! Oh, baby! How about that? They get a penalty. They say, you know what? We're just going to give it to Johnson, number 42. Take it in, big guy.
Overcoming adversity is preaching a lot of football programs, even when it's just a little bit, right? You get a penalty that sets you back, had a good chunk of yards on that play that got called back. No worries, we'll just go score on the next one.
I tell you what, man, everything is just hitting. And the calls they're making here, it just feels like it's open like the Red Sea. Love the blockers downfield as well, right? You can't do it all with one guy. Had some receivers blocking down there. And we got a 20-3 ball game. Travis waiting for our extra point here from Katie. Don't want to jinx him, but he's usually Mr. Automatic. Waiting for the snap, and we're going to get a penalty here. So may have
delay
been
game?
somebody. Well, it looked like there was time on the clock down there.
I agree.
But I wonder if there was some confusion down there. Did somebody move?
We were all silent up here. A false start.
Yeah, we don't like silence during a football game, right? That play took forever, and we did get a false start there. So going to back it up and make it a little bit more difficult.
Still within Katie's range. Just going to throw that
Well
out
within.
there. Well within.
What is that, at the 10 right now? What is it, 27 yards then?
Chip shot, hypothetically.
Snap down, it's good, it's clean. Kick is up, and it's good. Doesn't even matter. 21-3, Travis. I mean, if I told you that before the game, what would you say?
I would say I would love it. I would love to see it, but on paper, you got to think it's a little bit closer. Not that I'm saying this isn't a possibility because we're living it right now, and I love it. I absolutely love seeing that coach line is opening up the playbook and having some fun, but really sticking to the bread and butter of pounding the rock.
Look at some of these viewers. Charlie Campbell, thanks for tuning in, man. Tuning in from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. I know where that's at. And then 88 and 93 alumni watching from Clarkston. Go Blue.
Oh, and Sophia, you always chime in. I see your name in the chat. Thanks for taking some time out of your Friday night to watch the broadcast.
Tell you what, if you tell us where you're watching, give us some thoughts on the broadcast. We'll be happy to give you a shout out here. We're just having some fun, calling some football, and it's been a thing of beauty so far. If you're a Wildcat fan, if you're a Lake Orion Dragon, lots of time left in this football game.
An entire another half, right? And you got to think Lake Orion's going to come in thinking 0-0.
That's it.
Reset, right? Where's the reset button? Not necessarily the easy button, but where's the reset button? And what changes need to be made to come out and be successful?
If you're just tuning in, we haven't heard what it was, but Tristan Hill not in this ball game. That was a big loss for this Dragon offense because he does a little bit of everything for them. Got some offers as well. Here's the kickoff, and something we are used to seeing. We might as well just keep talking through these kickoffs because Katie just kicks it through the end zone every single
Through
time.
the end zone. He hit the white turf on that kick.
He's got a leg.
Incredible. Going back to Tristan Hill, not only is he athletic, has a couple offers, but he's also extremely smart. Rocking a 4.0 GPA his senior year. Doesn't appear to be getting any sort of senioritis. Maybe a little something-itis in his shoulder.
And you know what? He's got a couple offers. Lawrence Tech, one of those. I call those games for them. Scott Merchant, the new head coach there, he's a Hall of Fame coach in high school. So, listen, on that first run, getting a couple yards there. But Scott Merchant turning that program around, really just building it from the bottom up. That would be a big help for them there. And it's a beautiful campus. It really is in Southfield. So we'll see. He's got some opportunities in Wayne State, as we know. Their football team is right. It's up and coming.
They're no slouch.
No,
absolutely not. And his teammate Trey Pashmera, I believe that's how you say his last name, also offered by Lawrence Tech. So you got to wonder, somebody that already has that mojo, that almost that swagger, if you will, between two players. You'd love to see it.
Right?
Exactly. Continue on.
Second down and 5 from the 25. Lake Orion, drop back pass, receiver there, big-time throw there, picking up a couple yards, getting by the defense, and he'll pick up the first down, moving the chains.
Results of the play.
So a patient job by Jackson Vasquez, the senior, showing us some shiftiness there. We talked about his height. Not a big guy at 5'8", 160, but he's got that speed and shiftiness.
Incredibly quick. Watching him last week against Troy, ran all over the field. He really did, and it made Troy's defense, it seemed like they were just on ice skates, if you will.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, Travis Anderson Adams is back out there at QB, so we've seen them kind of switch a little bit here. Jaden Barrero in the backfield. Adams drops back, looking for a receiver. Oxford unable to get any pressure. Adams
Great
nowhere
coverage.
to go to. Oh,
Great job.
boy. How about that spear? Oh, baby, big hit by Dean Rice, was it?
Dean
Dean
Rice.
Rice once again. He absolutely, that is textbook tackling right there. I mean, you can't tackle any better than that.
From the time that he was coming out of his spot, before the snap, to the time that he took the quarterback completely to the ground, perfect.
I tell you
Absolutely
what,
perfect.
look, they're just letting this clock wind down. That's a win for Oxford, man. If you're up at halftime at 21-3, and your competitor is saying, you know what, we're just going to stop right now and try to regroup, which is what they need to do in the second half. I tell you what, this has been great football from Oxford on the defensive side, on the offensive side, special teams, everything going their way. Only one penalty in that first half as well, Travis.
Yep, huge. We had 3 penalties all last week, combined for just under 40 yards, I believe it was. You eliminate things like that, and these are the results. You can't help but think Oxford's going into the locker room pretty hyped up. Got to make sure they check themselves, though. This is a good football team. Lake Orion is going to come out wanting to put a score on the board quick. We'll love to see what happens, what sort of adjustments come down the pipeline from them, as well as, hopefully, Wildcats keep doing their thing.
That's right. Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in through this first half with OCTV. Dave Siseski with Travis as well here. At halftime, it's Oxford up 21-3 over Lake Orion. We'll see you in the second half.
Give it up for your varsity dance team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the field, the 2024 Oxford Wildcat Marching Band. Tonight, under the direction of drum majors Cole Dedeker, Olivia Grant, Caden Adams, and Sarah Gibbons, The Wildcat Band is proud to present Immortal Beloved, the music of Beethoven. We will feature musical soloists Trinity White, Cole Jacob, Rania Woltman, and Tegan Lepping, as well as color guard soloists Miranda Morin and Savannah Baker. Give it up for your 2024 Oxford Wildcats Marching Band.
Barron Industries, located right here in Oxford, Michigan, is celebrating over 100 years of metal casting excellence in serving many of the world's leading manufacturing companies that rely on Barron Industries for turnkey solutions for many of the most complex and safety-critical industries. Since 1983, Barron Industries has been a trusted partner to the world's leading aerospace and defense companies. Barron Industries, proud sponsor of Oxford football.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please direct your attention to midfield. In a ceremony held earlier this evening, the Oxford Athletic Department proudly inducted 5 new Wildcats to the Athletic Hall of Fame. These are the first inductees since 2022, so let's welcome this new class of 2024 Hall of Fame members. The class includes Mr. Ron Calso, Oxford Swiss Army Navy. Ron has announced basketball and soccer games for over 30 years, in addition to creating our indoor championship and record boards. Let's welcome and hear it from Ron Kelso. Our next inductee is from the class of 1993. Please welcome Mr. Carl Reeves. Carl was one of the greatest athletes in Oxford history. He led Oxford to the 1992 Football State Championship. He was an all-state running back and linebacker. Carl was a 3-year, two-way starter and compiled a 34-2 record during his high school career. Please welcome into the Hall of Fame, Mr. Carl Reeves. Next up is Matt Green, who now joins his wife, Sarah Courtwright Green, in the Hall of Fame. Matt was a standout soccer player and a decorated kicker on the football team. He was also a solid contributor to the basketball program. Matt earned 4 varsity letters in both soccer and basketball and was a 3-time letter winner in football. He was the Mr. Soccer runner-up in the state of Michigan in 1996. Let's hear it for Matt Green. Our next inductee is Coach Jeff Bull, known affectionately as the Legend. Coach Bull is synonymous with Oxford football. His career has spanned over 3 decades, and he is the current head coach of the freshman team. Coach Bull has one of the highest winning percentages of any coach in any Oxford sport. Congratulations to the legend, Coach Jeff Bull. And our final inductee of the night is J.R. Lafnir. J.R. has been the Oxford head bowling coach since the program's inception in 2005. During his storied career, the girls have won 5 conference championships, 2 county championships, 3 regional championships, and a state championship in 2018. The boys have won 12 conference championships, 5 county championships, and 3 regional championships. JR's teams have competed in the state finals a total of 9 times in both the girls and boys divisions. Let's hear it for J.R. Lafnir. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for this entire Hall of Fame class of 2024 on their prestigious achievements. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat.
Barron Industries, located right here in Oxford, Michigan, is celebrating over 100 years of metal casting excellence in serving many of the world's leading manufacturing companies that rely on Barron Industries for turnkey solutions for many of the most complex and safety-critical industries. Since 1983, Barron Industries has been a trusted partner to the world's leading aerospace and defense companies. Barron Industries, proud sponsor of Oxford football.
Welcome back, everybody, into Wildcat Stadium. This was a great first half. Travis, alongside Dave here. Travis, I got to tell you what, if you're a Wildcat fan, you got to really like what you saw from both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. Defensively, we've made Lake Orion kind of question whether they're a football team or not tonight, or at least playing as one together. Offensively, Oxford looking like a very stout varsity football team in the OAA Red. A force to be reckoned with. Just to cap off 2 of Luke's runs, 1-yard touchdown and a 27-yard touchdown right at the end of the half to make it 21-3. Lake Orion's been nothing but silent.
We do want to remind everybody that this broadcast is brought to you by Barron Industries, celebrating over 100 100 years of business. Barron Industries manufactures precision investment casting with custom ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Barron's concept to completion manufacturing process includes design for manufacturing, additive technologies, and CNC machining, as well as NADCAP certified non-destructive testing and welding. So we thank Barron Industries today for this broadcast. Tell you what, that was picture perfect in that first half. And I'll tell you what, also, as we have the lights turn out on us here, this is one of those things where if you're the Wildcats and you're the coaching staff in the locker room, you say, hey, listen, guys, do not let up.
Yep.
Keep playing that Wildcat football, that ground and pound. And really, with a game against your rival, you just want to keep scoring.
You do. Yeah, and you're going to have to, because Lake Orion, there's no way they didn't make some halftime adjustments. Would be, I'd venture guess that you're going to see a lot more of Jamari Cooper. You're going to see a lot more of Jackson Vasquez. They've tried to go to the air, and Wildcat defense taking on the Legion of Boom, if you will.
I like it.
Yeah, no fly zone out there. Minimal completions, a few decent ones, but for the most part, minimal. And linebackers able to get to the quarterback, made a couple sacks too.
I'll tell you what, too. You got to love the student section from both sides. This is a packed house. As I said, this is the rivalry of the night. This is the place you want to be, in Oxford, in Wildcat Stadium. Wildcats up 21-3 against their rivals. And you said it, Lake Orion can put a beating on a defense in really the blink of an eye. They don't have their star quarterback out there. We did find out Tristan Hill is out. It was that shoulder injury that he suffered last week. So that's a big loss. But you know what? Next man up, man. That's football.
Yep. Dislocated shoulder, unfortunately, for Tristan Hill. Sorry to see it.
Yeah, it is tough. You hate to see that. You don't want to see that, but if you're Oxford, hey, you're here to play a ball game. And here we have another kickoff, and do we even bother saying it anymore?
No.
Out of the end zone, Katie, once again. I mean, when you got a leg like that, right? You're playing some soccer too, but yeah, this man is talented. Yeah, Oxford going to put their defense out there. Obviously, they took possession of this ball game, and I think they really set the tone in that first drive. They went and really put the ball down the throat of the Dragon, and they said, hey, we're going to score. Can you keep up?
Yeah. Racking up 21 points in half really sets the tone offensively. And then to hold your opponents to just 3 points and minimal yardage even does a better job defensively.
First down at 10. Lake Orion trying to get something going. They hand the ball off to their senior Jaden Barrero. He'll get a couple yards on that. But, you know, to go off of that point, as you said, 21 points. This is a Wildcat team that's averaging 23 points per game. You're already almost there. So everything clicking for them. And really, they played good defense. They're only giving up 18.5 a game. They only gave up the one field goal, and that was a long 46-yarder as well.
Yeah.
So we got a second down and 6 from the 24. And there's Brody Thompson for the Dragons. And we're going to get a timeout here. Thompson's. Yeah, that's not what you want, right?
No,
because
not at all.
Clearly somebody was either not lined up right, didn't get the call in there, but let's point it out. This is not the starter under center there at quarterback. Brody Thompson has been subbing in with Anderson Adams, so both of them guys have been in there, and maybe the nerves gets a little bit of you, the best of you there.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, what's the conversation at halftime? Gotta wonder for a Lake Orion team.
You know, I think, and listen, we can only guess, right, Travis?
Sure.
But I would say it's probably something like, listen, guys, we've got a whole nother half to play. We got a lot of time here. We're a team that puts up over 30 points a ball game. We got 3 on the board. One quarterback is not this whole offense. We've got some playmakers here, but if you're Oxford, you got playmakers as well, and they've been shining today. How about second down and 6 from the 24? There's a QB keeper up the middle, picking up a few yards there, but nevertheless, that's going to set up a third down and short for the Dragons.
Yeah, that kind of an RPO a little bit right there. Good to see. I'm a big fan of it. That quarterback has the read, most likely into the end, whether he crashes down or he comes downfield, really tells him whether he's going to keep the ball or give to the running back. In that case, kept it, got a decent little chunk of yards, and it's 3rd and short upcoming.
Here it comes, 3rd down and short. This Oxford defense been lethal on 3rd down all evening long. Receiver in motion. They're going to hand it off to him. He picks up a couple positive yards, and I believe it's going to be close. It looks like he did get enough yards to move those chains, and where they're marking it, he did. So, they've had to put a couple guys in motion because really Oxford's been up to the challenge.
They have been. They've done a great job holding this offense that is typically pretty lethal. You have any ball club being able to put up 30-plus points per game on average. Yeah, it's the first 3 weeks of the season, but still, those are no numbers to slouch at.
No, for sure. And last week they got a nice victory. They beat a solid Troy team 32-0.
Yeah.
So that shows. Another handoff again to Barrero, who doesn't get much there. Barrero, they've done a good job keeping him contained. Big guy in that backfield, a senior for them, number 1. It'll set up a 2nd down. So near the 31-yard line. If you're tuning in, Oxford really played a great first half here. Lake Orion without their star quarterback. They've had Anderson Adams and Brody Thompson subbing in. Right now, it looks like it is Thompson. Thompson's got the bulk of the snaps so far. 2nd down and 8 from 34. Thompson under center, empty backfield. Receiver in motion again. They'll go to another receiver, number 22, and he's thrown down. That's number 60 for Oxford. Big tackle. And that's Brendan Cass, the senior defensive end. Talk about being home and making a nice play there.
Yeah, from the defensive linemen and linebackers, you're taught to stay home on an offense that likes to be able to throw some reverses or motion away and then maybe a dive or a trap behind it. In that case, did his job. Tackle for a loss. Had one last week, a combination, I think it was 6 total tackles. Incredible contribution. We love to see it, Brendan Cass.
Well, if you can hear that music pumped up, it's because it's a 3rd down here. This would be a big statement for Oxford if they can get their offense back out there. 3rd down and 12. Thompson back. Hits the receiver, though, in stride. Thompson with a strike. That's number 16 for Lake Orion. That's Jamari Cooper, and Cooper with a bunch of speed hit him in stride right in the breadbasket. Perfect pass and catch.
Incredible looking ball, really. Across the middle, caught his receiver in stride. Zero hesitation with that the Oxford line coming down almost with the sack there. Stepped up, made a pretty darn good throw.
If you're looking at scores, Detroit rivalry, Martin Luther King 12, Cass Tech 5. Oh, that's a close score there.
Interesting score.
Yeah, we got a back and forth one going there. This one all Oxford, but there's a handoff and quarterback running out to the left side, but Oxford really just didn't bite at all. Again, on the tackle, that's number 40, Hunter Gainey. Again, nice tackle from him.
Been active so far tonight with Phillips not dressing. His number got called to start, and he's done a pretty darn good job. Huge. Something that has been a good job, though, Tigers. Down 0-5.
Oh, man. They've been on such a big run. They got 9 games left. You think they're probably going to have to go 6-3, and those Twins haven't been playing good. But, yeah, he's 5-0. That's tough. And in the 4th. Well, we get another timeout. That's the second timeout of the quarter in this half. Wow.
Yeah. Going to take a little bit of time to just kind of, let's take a look at some scores around the league, if you will. Seaholm Oak Park. Oak Park, we play later on this season. Seaholm's up 14-0 at half. You got RHS, or Rochester versus Groves. They're down 21-0. We play them next week at Rochester. I believe it's their homecoming game, too. Then you have probably the matchup of the night. Adams versus Clarkston. Adams is up 21-10 at half. You got to think those two powerhouse teams we have to play them, but they're also going to be teams that are going to be leading the OAA Red and going to probably have to go through them, one of the two, to make the playoffs.
Well, just like you just said, man, the OAA Red, this is a big game for Oxford. I'm not going to say must win, but you don't want to go down 0-2 in the OAA Red this early.
No.
This would be a huge, crucial win against arguably one of the best teams in the division. There's a pass over to receiver, hitting him in stride again. That's number 22 catching that, Jackson Vasquez. So Vasquez, Barrero, some of them playmakers are starting to get him involved. That'll be another first down all the way. That was at the 45.
Yeah, that was a wheel route from Vasquez, who lined up in the slot. Didn't take as much depth on the second part of that wheel route, which I think he read the defense and saw the cornerback immediately exit the zone. So he sat down, let his quarterback see him. Nice little pitch and catch.
Barrero in the backfield. Thompson under center. Hands off to Barrero. Good job by Oxford. 3 guys there in with the tackle. And we've said his name a ton of times, but Luke Johnson leading the way with a couple of his guys there. Johnson stepping up when the Oxford Wildcats need a big play.
Very much so. And you got to think that leadership of him being all over the field is just rubbing off on the younger Gainey. Gainey's like, okay, I see you. I'm going to make sure to try to get more tackles. And he's done a pretty darn good job tonight.
Hard to keep up with him. He's making tackles and he also scores touchdowns. So
yeah,
he does it all. 2nd down and 10 from the 43. 6:02 left in this third quarter. Oxford up 21-3. Thompson hands off to, he fakes the handoff, goes up the middle. He's done that a couple times on that QB keeper. And he's got some positive yards. I believe he's right close to that first down, maybe 1 yard to go. But, when it wasn't there, he's read the field. That's what you got to do as a quarterback, right? You got to slow it down and read the field. Good vision by him going up the middle.
Yeah, Krupa thankfully there to clean up on the tackle. Otherwise, he might be off to the races.
So this is a big play here. Travis, 3rd down and short. Looks like it's maybe 1 yard here? 3rd down and 2 from the 35 here. Thompson, again, receiver in motion. He keeps it, goes up the middle, and picks up the first down. Brody Thompson, a couple big runs on this drive, moving the ball. And so far, this is the best drive we've seen for the Dragons in this game.
Yeah, Krupa with back-to-back tackles, able to come up off his linebacker position and fill the hole and make sure that it's a good, sound tackle. Wrapping up around the hamstrings, bringing him down. Yes, he got the first down, but it's not much more than that.
That's it. And more time comes off that clock, right? You want to make this a long drive here. Oxford trying to get a stop. Look at that play. When you need a play, you want your big guys to do it. That's number 40 again, Hunter Gainey. How many times have we said his name?
Just this drive alone, at least I think that's the 3rd time alone. So love it. Gotta love it, especially being the fact that he's coming off the edge. And making a tackle in the backfield. I love the quickness. Somebody else that was really good at that last year, Sean Wilson. Now, hey, good luck tomorrow, buddy. I know you got your first home game at MIT. Best of luck.
That's awesome. Playing on Saturdays now. 2nd down and 15. What a stop this would be. Thompson throws with a guy in his face. That was dangerous. Oh, boy.
He had both safeties above him.
Seth Tabert back there near the ball, but yeah, both the safeties came in there. Carpenter was there as well. Read that perfectly, and a guy right in the face of Thompson. So this defense stepping up exactly when you need them to.
Now a much, much bigger 3rd down as far as distance goes. There's 3rd and 2 or so just a little bit ago. Now we're looking at 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, something along those lines. Huge stop here if the defense can pull it off. Trips right.
Barrero in the backfield. Thompson throws over to his receiver with some room, but the Wildcats bring him down, and there's a flag on the field, though.
They're going to call potentially personal foul. Oh, no, they're going to get a sideline warning. Okay.
Okay, so we'll hold our breath there. So just a warning, but okay. Is this 4-down territory, or do you bring your kicker out here?
Let's see
what that's
the call is.
Sideline warning.
Yep, just a sideline warning. That's still fourth down.
It is fourth down in kicking range, but you got to think that you
think
don't
they're
bring
going
the field
for it.
goal unit, right?
Yep.
You Dan Campbell it. You keep your offense on the field.
Well, Thompson's coming right back out here. And really, Thompson, listen, you'll give props when they deserve it. He's led a good drive for them. Somebody that doesn't normally start these ball games. But Oxford
Yeah.
has been huge the last couple of plays here. So here we go, fourth down.
Rushlow's going to come across the middle of the field, and that's what
In
they're going to be probably looking
6.
at.
And we're going to get a timeout.
Nice.
So I like that call from Oxford, right?
Yep.
Show it to us and let us adapt. And that's
Yep.
exactly what a good coaching staff does. And you got your timeouts.
Especially you had the tight end lined up on the far side of the field. So there had to have been a red flag for them in some way. Hey, they always go deep, or maybe it's a long drag route.
No, that's a good point. That's
Yeah.
a good point,
So
right?
That's my guess, is that that's what the key was. And another thing about OCTV and us being able to do this broadcast, it's only because of Barron Industries. Barron does a phenomenal job with everything they do, and 100+ years continue to be great. Thank you so much, Barron Industries, for being a sponsor of tonight's broadcast here at OCTV on YouTube.
So let everybody know there, if you want to be a sponsor of the broadcast, just get in contact with OCTV. We'll be happy to bring you aboard, be part of the family, because that's exactly what it is. It's a family here at OCTV, and some good action here this evening. So this is going to set up a fourth down. Fourth down for Oxford. Thompson steps back, looking for somebody over the middle. There's some pressure, gets some room, runs out, and he's going to pick up the first down and more inside the 5 and in for the touchdown. Wow. What a play there. I mean, you thought the defense right in his face, you thought he might succumb to the pressure there, but really showed some vision, got to the outside and picked it up for the score. That's a big play.
Turned on the jets. Really, really quick around the edge. He did have Rushlow come across the middle of the field, and that's what he was looking for. Wasn't able to make a connection. He was open, but I don't think it would have been enough for the first down. Decides to tuck it, take it up, and say, hey, get on my back. We're going to score.
And on fourth down and 6.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a gut punch to the Oxford defense, but hey, tip of the cap to the Dragons there. Big play from Thompson, and look out. That offense, you don't want them to get rolling, because they can put up points in a hurry. We've already talked about it. Over 30 points a ball game. That's no joke. It doesn't matter who you play.
No, not at all. And now that it looks like they're trying to decide something. I'm not really
See
sure
if they
what's
might
going
go for
on.
2 here, but see, if you hit the extra point, it's 11-point ball game. If you get 2, it's 10. It would make sense, would it not, to go for that?
Yeah,
So you got to play the analytics game.
Yeah,
you still
it's
play it at the high school level, right? It's a part of the game.
2-possession game, either way you look at it, but an easier 2-possession game.
Exactly.
At that.
Exactly.
So trying to figure out what the conversation was between Coach Bell and the head
And they're coming
referee.
back out here. And that's exactly what your thought process is.
See.
Like you said, right? A touchdown and a field goal, much easier than 2 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
this is a big spot for Oxford here. And we're going to get
They're
a
trying to
stoppage of
correct
play
the
here.
clock, it looks like.
Yeah, looking up at that clock. We got 3:23 up there.
Put the score 21-3, please.
Oh, he did not. It was not a touchdown. They said he was out. He stepped out. It looks like at the 4-yard line. That's huge.
I tell you what, and where that official is, I thought maybe he did step out, and that's
Same.
exactly what happened.
Same. I was kind of questioning it myself. I'm going to say you're going to see Rushlow in the flats to the field side here.
Thompson handing it off to Vasquez. Vasquez, a lot of men in front of him there bumping around, trying to make his way in the end zone, but I believe he took it down to the 1-yard line. And you know what? They're going to do the same play. They're
Yeah.
going to go right up the gut here.
Yeah. I would think to see kind of that RPO a little bit to where number 8 gets to make the decision whether to keep it or give it based off of what that defensive line does.
Well, here we go. 2nd down and 1 from the 1. Wildcats trying to get a big stop. Thompson under center, hands it off to Vasquez, gets hit, and still gets in the end zone for the score. So, nevertheless, they do pick up the points. Travis, I do believe they're going to go for 2 here. It makes a lot of sense when you look at the analytics side of it. But with 2:43, 21-9.
Yeah, I can't tell if, like, right on the hash, just before the 6-yard line, it looks like there might be a flag, but I can't. It looks like laundry.
Shout out to Joe there who saw that.
Maybe it's just a piece of trash, I guess. I don't know.
I guess so.
Looks blatantly as a flag. Maybe it's a touch small.
Going for 2. 21-9, Thompson looking for a receiver. Nobody in the backfield. No room. Throws it up. But Oxford right there, I don't know if he came up with that, and he did. That's a pick. Nice play. That's Eli Carpenter, I believe.
There is a flag down the middle, or the front of the end zone. Let's see what the play call is.
You think that might be a hold.
Yeah, you got to think holding.
And it is, and it's on Oxford. That is a hold. So
touched on this a little bit.
And they're going to move it up a little closer.
Yep.
And now you think maybe they're not passing. Maybe they're going to take that right up the gut with their big back, Vasquez again.
Yeah. And if it's not going to be Vasquez, it'll probably be Barrero or Cooper. They looked again for Rushlow coming across the quarterback's face, and coverage was there. Coverage was really good. So good that they got a penalty because there was holding.
Trav, you put your 8 guys in the box, right?
Yeah.
You just say, hey, beat us here. Muscle
here it
versus
is.
Muscle. Here we go. Going for 2. The toss, and Vasquez just too big and gets in there for the 2 points. So that'll make this ball game 21-11. And that was Dominic Lawless that scored, or Malachi Hood scored on that.
Yes.
So 21-11. This is now a 10-point ball game, Travis. It was 21-3 going into half. So, if you're Oxford, you got to get that offense out there and keep moving the ball and get some more points on this board.
2-possession game. A much easier 2-possession game as well, because it's just 7 and then a field goal. Do we see an onside kick here? That's my question. I don't know if you do an onside kick. You stopped them on one,
what?
The first or second drive. Like it's tough to say. I don't think so yet.
Listen, it's a chess match out there, right? I mean, you do everything you can to try to get an advantage. Would not be shocked here. Back for Oxford is Pavlock. We'll see. So if you're tuning in, this ball game's getting a little bit closer. 10-point game. This was 21-3 going into half, but Lake Orion driving, getting a touchdown, and getting the 2-point try. Pavlock just going to look at as that one soars over his head and into the end zone for the touchback. So Oxford will take back over. But listen, you're still leading by 10. Tell your guys that, hey, listen, this offense has been dominant. We've been able to move the ball, run the ball, use the play action pass, and everything has been clicking. Let's keep going with the game plan, fellas.
Yes, absolutely. And this is probably the most crucial drive we've had this game. Either you've got to put points on the board. That's just plain and simple. Let's see what they do.
Hendricks and the shotgun with Johnson. Fake handoff there. Goes over to Johnson in the flat, unable to connect with him. So didn't have a ton of time there with a defender in his face. But you'd like to see your quarterback come up with that, because I tell you what, Johnson had a lot of room there on that left side.
He did, and he actually had Carpenter too behind that. It was kind of like a corner route almost to the sideline. And had he connected, there was only maybe 2 defenders that he would have had to beat.
I like my odds with that. I like my odds with Johnson. Here we go. 2nd down and 10, though, from the 20. Oxford really got to get that offense going. Momentum right now on the side of the Dragons, but Wildcats looking to take it right back. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Johnson in the backfield, under center. Hendricks hands off to Johnson, but he is absolutely met at the line. That's number 56. That's senior Lane Garris with a huge tackle and throws Johnson down. You don't see a big guy like Johnson get hit like that.
No, and it's definitely going down like that and getting slammed in the back of the head. Gives you kind of a little bit of a concern from a coach's standpoint because those are
You don't love to
common
see it. Yeah.
concussion injuries, unfortunately.
You don't love to see that. So that sets up a 3rd down and 11. Another thing you don't like to see because it puts you in a one-dimensional spot. Probably going to see a pass here unless they play it safe. Hendricks in the shot. Hendricks, low snap. Looking up for a receiver. Hits his man. Gets some positive yards near that 1st down marker, and he does pick up the 1st down. Eli Carpenter. Oh, man.
Great play call. Haven't really seen a whole lot of middle of the field work. Love it.
Yeah, that was perfect from Carpenter. You told me today, Carpenter making a commitment today, huh?
Yeah. Super cool to see, especially any Oxford Wildcat for
But a
that
Carpenter,
matter.
his brother went too. Brady Carpenter as well, played baseball, and now you got Eli Carpenter, a talented multi-sport athlete going to play some collegiate.
Yes, I believe Saginaw Valley State to be exact.
Here's Johnson here on 1st down, picking up some hard, tough yards, but got some laundry on the field. There's another flag. That's usually a hold, and it is, so it's coming back. Those are those mistakes that Oxford did not make in the first half that can absolutely kill a drive.
We talked at half. We talked at the beginning of the game of eliminating the drive killers. Right, easiest one to eliminate, penalties, and silly penalties like that don't help.
Well, listen, it's 10 yards in the opposite direction. It's not going to help you at all, right? That's setting up a 1st down and 20 and forcing you to pick up some chunk plays here. So we'll see, but you know, I believe that's only the 2nd, maybe 3rd penalty for Oxford on the night. So fairly clean, but as you mentioned, this is a big, important drive, but taking a lot of time off the clock, just under a minute to play here in the 3rd. Receiver in motion there, low snap. He'll hit his receiver, and he's got some room on the left side, moving up the sidelines, and he'll pick up the 1st down and more, staying in bounds. Oh, past the 50-yard line. Owen Pavlock making it look easy. Woo. Oh, but there's a flag. You have got to be kidding me. You wonder if that's a block in the back.
Yeah, behind the play, you got to wonder.
Oh, absolutely killer. Absolutely killer.
Ready 2.
Well, we'll see what the officials say here, but this ball's already coming back.
Sideline.
I mean, I tell you what, that was a heck of a play by Pavlock, and now it's taken away, just like that.
Coach Lyons asking the side judge as to how that call was made, and I'm not even sure, to be honest.
I mean, I didn't see, out of the corner of my eye, Travis, anybody on that field.
Any obstruction, no, yeah. So
That's
I'm
a
not
tough
really
call
sure.
to make in that type of situation.
That pushes them back
Wow.
even further.
Well, they got a sideline warning in the first half, and now they're saying sideline penalty, so this clock is going to wind down. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Now, that's one of the things that's going for Oxford right now is that clock, but, man, absolutely killer. Now, Travis, you're looking at a 1st down and 30. You almost have to just run the ball.
Yeah, because they're expecting you to pass, which they
There's
are.
Hendricks. He is looking to pass it. Hendricks going deep. Got a receiver down there, and I tell you what, there's a flag. That is what you do. He drew that flag. That was Owen Pavlock down there going for it. That's a heck of a throw by your quarterback right there. Seen it, saw a mismatch, and what'd you do? You drew a flag.
Drew a flag. If you can't catch it, being able
Wow.
to draw that flag is huge. The fact that we're now looking at probably going to be 1st and 10 inside our 40.
I mean, talk about turning the table completely. You were at a 1st and 30. Now, I have no idea what they're talking about now. They do make the call and move them up here, but where are they going? There is some
I thought it would
confusion
be a
on the
spot foul. Yeah, a defensive
Yeah,
PI.
I think there's a lot of confusion. This ball's coming up. This is a 1st down. So listen, nevertheless, was not where the foul took place. However, you should get an automatic first down. We're looking at a first down and 10. It doesn't say that right now on the board, but this should be a first down and 10.
And sticks are stayed in the same spot.
Well, I think the sticks moved. So I think they moved the sticks initially already. It was just our huddle that had moved back here. So
We're still looking at 1st and 15. I'll be
first
honest.
down and 6? Now that can't be right either.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we'll keep you in the loop here. Low snap again from Hendricks. Looking to hit his receiver. Hits him on the left side, flat. Big play there again. That's number 25 picking up that catch, Dean Rice. And look down on the field. Is that Hendricks down? I can't tell who's on the ground there, but
Yeah, it's not gonna be Hendricks. I don't think, at least.
no, it doesn't look like it is. We'll see if we can get a shot
So
down there. and
Hendricks is
see.
over here on the sideline, so we're good there.
Whoever it is, you hope that he's okay down there. Medical staff tending to him now. Didn't quite get to see what happened. It looked like it happened behind the play, but there's Zach Line there going.
We found someone's keys on the floor, and we're also missing glasses. Shoot, we gotta help this one. Thank you.
So I'm not sure what that injury is. I hope that he's okay. But listen, I think that that right there, there's been a couple penalties. You don't like to see a player on the field, but if you're talking to your offense right now, you're saying, guys, listen, we got to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Because it can bring the spirits down, right?
I don't see Johnson.
Well, I certainly hope it is, and we've got cameras down there. We're trying to see who it is exactly. As soon as we do see, we'll let you guys know. If you're tuning in right now, it's 21-11.
Luke's right here on the far side of the huddle. So
Playing the
good
numbers
there.
game.
Oh, Brendan Cass.
Yeah,
60.
big number 60, and that's your senior.
Starting on both sides of the ball for us on the line. That's
But you know what? We're going to take a positive. He did come off the field under his own power.
yes.
So
Absolutely.
you hope Brendan's okay. You know, tremendous staff down there helping him here at Oxford as well. But listen, that's the end of the third quarter. This is getting fun. It's a 10-point ball game. Lake Orion and Oxford. I don't know about you, but like I said, on a Friday night under the lights, all these fans in the stands, this is a lot of fun.
This is a great spot to be. It really is. And another spot that's going to be really nice to be is Tuesday night. The volleyball team hosts, I'm blanking all of a sudden, but it's Hana night.
Oh, Hana night.
Yeah. So the
Soccer team plays as well on Tuesday night.
Yep, and they
you know how
won.
I know? I'll be on the call. So there you go.
Oh, very nice.
So OCTV will be here for both of those, believe it or not.
Yeah, Hana is Hana Nights. Volleyball is hosting the Groves team for the match. It's gonna be a special pregame ceremony.
Nice.
Come on out, enjoy a wonderful night of volleyball.
First down and 10. Hendricks with a man in his face, gets it out to the receiver. A little bit of room, gets by the defender and through another tackler, picking up the big first down. How about that, Liam O'Neill? Wow, he's slippery.
Yeah, we haven't really heard his number called a whole lot tonight. So you got to wonder, is this part of the game plan, working in some other players? Because Lake Orion's keyed up on folks like Johnson, folks like Katie, and Pavlok. Love to see it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, listen, you've got a lot of athletes. Use them, right? Show that depth, and that's exactly what Oxford's doing right now. Important drive here, 1st and 10 from the 44. 11:25 on your clock, 21-11, Oxford. Johnson back there in the backfield, but there's a man in his face. Big tackle number 56, Lane Garris. We've called his name a couple times. Big defensive tackle.
Yeah, I want to say Cass lines up on the left side of that line, and that's exactly where the pressure was brought for the Lake Orion defense to get that tackle for about 5-yard loss, unfortunately.
So if you're wondering how the Tigers are doing, do not look, because it's 6-0 right now. How are the Twins doing? Twins are down 1-0, so maybe we'll call it a wash tonight. Don't worry about the baseball games. Just tune into this game. 2nd down and 15 from the 39. Low snap again. Good job by Hendricks. Gets it out to his running back Johnson. Gets by a defender. Picking up some positive yardage. There's been a couple of low snaps, and Hendricks keeping his composure and hitting his receiver.
Yeah, and then that burst of speed at the end to make 8-yard gain out of a bad snap.
Exactly.
Incredible. The two athletes that have been handling the football the most tonight, Hendricks and Johnson, have been perfect.
Yeah, this has been really tremendous from both of them guys. Two of your big-time leaders on this team, and they're showing out in a big rivalry game. So that moves the ball up to the 47. We still got 3rd down and 7, so 3rd and long here. Hendricks, low snap again, somehow picks it up, throws up, hits his receiver. That maybe got back to the line, but that's the 3rd low snap in as many drives as I've seen. So got to have a conversation there with your center, get on the same page.
Great job, though, by Hendricks, being able to gather that ball, get his head up downfield, look, sees an open receiver, gets it to Champagne. It is, not where we wanted it, but we also have the opportunity to see a phenomenal kicker.
Listen, we love special teams here because they're good.
Yeah.
Katie with the leg, trying to get these Dragons backed up. High punt, but I think that one was shanked.
Yeah, off the side of his foot.
You rarely see that. Well, the change of possession will give us an opportunity to talk about our sponsor, Barron Industries. Barron, celebrating over 100 years in business. A great business here in a beautiful city of Oxford. Been around for forever. Thank you to Barron Industries. And thank you for tuning into this broadcast, this Oxford Community Television broadcast here. You got the band in the background, football under the lights on a Friday night, 21-11 ball game. And Travis, we're talking some football. It doesn't really feel like a job when you're doing something like that and they're playing like this, huh?
Yeah, very much so. To be able to be up here with you has been an absolute pleasure.
That's it.
And loving being able to call this game so far.
So Thompson, backup quarterback in there, looking for a receiver. He's got him, man, but really taking his time, and he's going to get thrown down. And somehow, are they going to say that he threw that away in time?
It sounds that way.
There's a flag, isn't there?
Side judge here is indicating he's down on the 40.
Well, we had a couple guys in pressure there.
Yeah, Dean Rice, one of them.
Dean Rice has been all over the field on both sides of the ball. And, this is a couple times where we tried to figure out what's going on. A little bit of confusion down there. But they are going to put the ball, looks like, at the 46.
Wow, they're going to call it incomplete. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, he was spinning. I don't know who he was going with the ball, but outside of the pocket. So Thompson, 2nd down and 10. Fakes the handoff. Good job holding on there. I tell you what, that was the right move.
Yeah.
Because if he hands it off to Vasquez, he's going down with a couple guys on his back, and that was Barrero, actually. But good read right there.
Yeah, Barrett and Krupa staying home with their assignments. Outside linebacker probably has the assignment of taking that running back out of the play. Then, or as a DN / outside linebacker. And then you have Barrett following in behind him to be able to take down the quarterback. Exactly what happened. Minimal gain.
Minimal gain, and that sets up a 3rd down. 3rd down and 8 from the 48. Wildcat faithful making some noise. Thompson under center. Fakes the handoff. Looking for a receiver downfield. Nobody home.
Where to go. Little.
I tell you what, though. Oxford had everybody covered there. I'm not sure where Thompson was going with that ball, but that sets up 4th down and 8. And you wonder if they're going to go for it. They left the offense on the field.
Yep. Yeah, you got to think that they're going to. Especially, let's rewind to the beginning of the half. They rattled off 2 of their timeouts.
Oh, that's
almost back to back, right? So if you don't make this 4th down, you give Oxford the ball back, inside your territory and only one timeout to work with.
And a team that can run that clock off with their run game. So big spot here. 4th down and 8, making some noise. It's loud here in Wildcat Stadium. Vasquez in the backfields. Throw over the middle. Big play by the safety. Oh, baby. Eli Carpenter was there making the play. That's what you like to see from your big-time safety.
Huge play by the senior coming up and absolutely laying the lumber. I love it.
Oh, man, and you know what? That's the fun thing about safety. Play some center field, right? Get some big hits. That's exactly what Carpenter was doing. And you know what? He does play some baseball, right? So there you go.
Kid's got an arm. I know at one point he was even being looked at as our backup QB.
Well, his brother did play quarterback here.
Yeah, it's in their blood.
Yep. So Oxford will take over. That was, in my opinion, the biggest play of this ball game thus far. You're looking at the clock right now, 7:52. If you're Johnson, you are absolutely licking your chops because you're saying, just give me the rock.
Give me the rock. Come on, give me the rock. And I'm sure the conversation between Coach Line and Jack Hendricks was follow that play clock all the way down to about that 3-second mark.
That's it.
Then snap the ball.
Well, 7:52, 1st down and 10 from the 48. Oxford with that 10-point lead. Oh, there's another high snap. Hendricks has to go back to it. Doesn't fall on it. Picks it up and throws it away.
Smart. Oh, my gosh. So smart.
I got to tell you, that's one of the most heads-up plays you can have. Most guys are probably falling on that ball.
You have probably a 15-plus yard loss if you don't fall on it, or if you do fall on it.
I mean,
now, only thing that is unfortunate about this play, clock stops. Outside of that, incredible.
Well, I know we had Brendan Cass come off. Is Cass playing center as well? Did he come out of this?
I'll be honest.
Because I don't know who's at center right now. It feels like all of a sudden there's a little bit of an issue with that snap.
Yeah.
Maybe you think about having him under center. So 2nd down and 10. They said no intentional grounding, but yeah, Hendricks was out of the pocket.
Mm-hmm. And was out of the pocket and had, thankfully, receivers in the area. Very easy call for the
That was absolutely big. And you do see Hendricks there under center. You might see more of that. I don't know for sure. But you get a handoff over there to Johnson. Got some room on the left side. Goes through a defender. Fights his way to get some positive yards there. Not a lot of room, but gets that clock to keep winding down. So this is a big play here. And like you said, they're going to let that play clock go all the way down to probably 3 or 4 seconds before they hike this ball. But this would be a huge, huge conversion if they can get this on 3rd and long.
They do need it, absolutely. And play clock down under the 15-second mark. By the time we get to the line, it'll be probably close to roughly the 10.
And Hendricks is in the shotgun, so watch out for this snap. Had some troubles with it. Good snap there. Hendricks trying to hit his receiver on the right side. Just unable to connect with Carpenter once again. That would have been enough for the 1st down, but that also stops the clock.
Yeah, it does with Lake Orion's going to have around 6.5 to move the ball. Again, 2-possession game. Not a whole lot of time left.
No, they'd have to strike quickly. And that's the thing. And a lot of their drives has taken a lot. Because, listen, we've said it a lot. Tristan Hill's not in there. He's used to running this offense.
He is. And you can tell this offense is hurting without him. Not being able to capitalize on drives.
Katie with the big leg. Another high. What a catch there by Katie. I mean, that's not going to go up as a stat, but he catches that. If that ball gets over his head, that is an absolute nightmare.
Yes, that's a huge momentum changer, huge game changer. Bravo by Katie, met by Carpenter, Coach Carpenter.
Staff too.
Yeah, understandable.
Because they know that's not going to go down in the stat sheet, but I tell you, those plays like that, just being an athlete,
yes.
I mean, how often do you say the punter's a great athlete?
Yeah, and you pinned him on the 10.
Exactly. Yeah. Not only do you catch it, but you have the awareness to have a great punt like this, and that's what he does all the time. So at the 10-yard line, 6:39. Lake Orion needs 10 points here. Thompson hands it off, keeping it again. So it's that option play. He's used that a couple times here on the last couple drives here, but you have to think that's where Tristan Hill was so dangerous with that option.
Incredibly. And then they were able to run a couple pass plays behind it, too, because of how athletic and good of a quarterback he was just all around. You have number 43 checking in. Haven't seen him on the field at all lately. Travis Acker, he's probably going to line up in like a fullback or a wingback position. They're going to run right behind him.
Thompson with Barrero in the backfield. Thompson hands off to Barrero. Barrero up the middle, goes through a tackle. Hard run for the first down, and they'll move the chains. That was earning those yards.
Yeah, I think Tabor in on that tackle. Tabor, one of our seniors, really, again, plays both sides of the ball. Defensively, just a very sound athlete. Phenomenal at his position. Loves the game, you can tell.
Reverse. In motion again. Hitting it to one of their slippery players there in Vasquez, who picks up some good positive yardage. And that's what they've done, and they do a lot. A lot of guys in motion. And, you know, we've had some good news here for Oxford. Not so much for the Detroit baseball team, the Tigers.
Yeah.
Struggling tonight. How about 7-0 losing in the top of the seventh to the Orioles? Got to check in on the Twins and see where that one's at. And it is 1-0 Red Sox still in the sixth. So it could be a wash, and that would be good. Second down and 1. Going back to pass. Thompson with a dime out to his receiver, but unable to come down with it. I tell you what, there was some contact there with Pavlock.
Definitely.
Glad we didn't get a flag there, but it could have went either way.
It could have went. There's definitely some hand fighting, and then it looked like they kind of tripped over each other, thankfully, and went down. So good no call there, I think,
exactly.
on the refs.
Great call by the refs.
Yeah.
We'll say great call. But you know what? I like that they're letting them play. I mean, and that's what they've done all night. You haven't had a lot of laundry on the field, right? You had a couple sideline warnings, but big play here, third down, and at this point of the ball game, it's 4 down territory no matter where you're at. Thompson taking it up the middle.
Wow. Just that bread and butter for them in between the tackles, almost even in between the guards.
But I'll tell you what, Travis, you get those yardage. Yes, you're getting first downs, but look at that clock. It's just going tick, tick, tick. And if you're Oxford, you're going to give up those plays for first downs rather than that big play.
Yeah, Preston Wilder checking in as an outside linebacker, or defensive end, rather.
Thompson looking for his tight end on the left side there. Pressure in his face, had to throw it away. That's, I tell you what, a big play by Oxford. That's Hunter Gainey. We've called him a couple times coming off on that end spot, and he's showing some quickness. He's a big guy down there. Almost had himself another sack.
It's got to be, I want to say, probably our third or fourth pressure on the quarterback. You can't ask for much more other than a sack from that athlete. And it's from from his side of the far side of the field, and he's able to track quarterback into the middle, almost the other hash.
Well, Jim Hughes says he's 3 beers in with a bucket of popcorn. Got to be a good night for him as well. So there you go. Second down and 10 from the 37. Thompson looking for a receiver again. Nowhere to go. Hits one over the right side. That was an absolute dart. Number 16, I believe it was Jamari Cooper.
Yes.
Number 16. I mean, that's the second time we've seen him hit him across the middle there, but we got some laundry. And I think it's coming back, Travis.
2 flags at that, so...
It looks like it may have been a hold.
You got to think so, especially the amount of time the quarterback had. Holding.
Well, offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties, so we'll have a first down. Okay.
That's an interesting call there, but they're going to move the sticks anyways. So normally in that type of situation, you'd see offset. Either replay the down, but hey, we're moving it up here. So hey, we're not wearing the zebra stripes tonight. We'll see. we got a first down and 10 from the 44. And we got some camera on us here. So, there's a big throw down the middle. Once again, hits Cooper, and he's going to score.
Wow.
So just like that, they strike.
And some extra curriculars
and
afterwards.
That's big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. And he's down, too.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you hate to see that. Jamari Cooper with a big hit near the end. I hope he's okay and just shaking up on that, but we talked about it. They've hit him a couple times across the middle. He shows his blazing speed and beats the defenders there to the pylon and scores as he's going to get some medical staff attention.
That was a
big play.
Really big hit, too.
Personal foul.
Yeah, and we're going to get a personal foul, as you said. So just like that, and they don't put the points up yet, but he got in.
Yeah, Carpenter laid the boom stick on him.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
man.
it was out of bounds. I think it was just his momentum going that way.
Well, we're on turf, and, you can get a little slippery there with that paint and everything. So, it wasn't intentional, and that's not what it was. But this is a tough game. I mean, the sport of football is tough, and you hope that Cooper's okay after making a big-time play for his team. And just like that, now, if they make an extra point, they're down by 3 with 4 minutes left. But you might have to onside kick it. You only got 1 timeout left.
Yeah. How often do you see an onside kick in high school? Not very often.
Not very often.
Not very often.
But
Oxford did try it last week, though.
But you might not have a choice. You've only got 1 timeout. So only being able to stop the clock a couple times, because if you're Oxford, you're just running that ball out. But we're jumping ahead a little bit. We're still trying to see if Cooper's okay down there. The 5'11", 170-pound senior wide receiver has made play after play.
We got a personal foul here. It will be taken on the kickoff.
So there you go. That's big. That's taken on the kickoff. Well, now you wonder.
You have the majority of the Lake Orion coaching staff over there now. I'd say at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 green shirts from our vantage point.
Now here's the extra point. Clean snap. It's through. So we got a ball game, folks. 21-18. 3-point game with just 4 minutes left. And with a rivalry like this, you wouldn't expect anything different. But that Wildcat offense has got to get something going here. You get a couple first downs, you end this ball game.
Yep. Lost some steam coming out of half. Seemed like we kind of fell flat a little bit. Kind of started to pick it back up. Had some costly penalties that ended some potentially, dagger drives, if you will. You put up another score, whether that be a field goal or a touchdown, and this score is a little bit different. You got a little bit more of a cushion. Maybe your defense plays a little bit different. You got to think onside here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect opportunity to do so. And I think Oxford had that conversation with their special teams as well.
Yeah.
And you'll see as soon as they set up here. But this is going to be an interesting play here. But with the clock down to 4 minutes, you've got 1 timeout. You know what Oxford's going to do. And that clock would just tick off for you because you're playing against the Wildcats and the clock at this point.
You are. Something good to see. Cooper is sitting up currently, so I'm not sure if it was just now he just got to his feet. That's huge.
Cooper's up over there. The wide receiver who scored that touchdown came to his feet. Love to see that.
It didn't look like there was like abnormal. A leg getting caught for like a knee injury. I would have to say it's going to be something head related, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And concussion is no joke by any means. And he's walking around.
He's walking without any medical staff around him, which is a good thing to see. And listen, he scored. That probably was his first question when he got up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Made a big play, and here we are. So certainly feels like an opportunity for an onside kick.
Yeah.
And it is. It's going to be an onside kick. This could be your ball game, folks. Here's the kick. Got a good bounce. Hands team out there. It gets free, but it goes out of bounds. That is a
O'Neal.
break right there because that went through the hands. I believe it was number 3. I believe it was.
I couldn't tell
Was it
on
3
that
or
far,
11? I couldn't
far
tell.
side. Oh, 12?
It may have been.
12 would be
O'Neal.
Liam O'Neal.
And Liam O'Neal's probably saying, thank the Lord that went out of bounds.
No kidding.
I mean, those are tough plays right there.
Wildcats take over on their 26-yard line with just under 4 minutes to play. Time is of the essence.
Travis, you know what they're going to do. They're just going to run the rock with their main guy, Johnson, and try to just take off that time. Obviously, you only got one timeout here, so you can only stop that one time. But here we go. Johnson in motion there. They actually hand it off to another back in the backfield, picking up some big-time yards. That still was Luke Johnson. Another receiver was in motion. That was number 24, Andrew Barrett. So Johnson, big play. Now, he did go out of bounds, but,
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't stop this young man. You know what's coming,
Yeah.
and you still can't stop it. He's just that good.
Yeah. Wow, they are going to give him the first down. It looked like he was
It looked
short,
like he was a
but,
tad bit short there.
but we'll take it. We're not complaining by any means.
We got the Detroit rivalry score here. MLK 12, Cass Tech 5 in the third quarter. That's a tough one. Here we go, another run. And that clock winding down. Lake Orion's only got the one timeout. Still didn't call it, which is a little bit surprising.
You got to wonder at what point do they utilize that timeout, right? Are they saving it? They're hoping their defense gets off the field, and they save it offensively for a late field goal try? I don't know.
Let's do the math here. You got that play clock. Oxford's not snapping that ball until that's around two, maybe 1 second here. So really, everything has to go perfectly wrong, we'll say, for them to lose this ball game. Now, anything can happen, but they're in the driver's seat here. So 2nd down and 6 with 3 minutes left. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Johnson, picking up another first down, and if he didn't, he's right there by the sticks. It's going to be real close. I mean,
nose of a football
we haven't had a measurement yet, and they're saying it's a first down. Wow. The one line judge here saying first, they're asking for a measurement. Where are we?
Third down.
Did we not see a first down call?
Zach's I think he's treating it as third down as it's called on the field.
Well, it's quite odd, but anyways, 2:20.
Yep, 2:20.
This is the ball game right here, Travis.
Yeah.
You ice it right now. I know they've got a timeout, but still, you ice the ball game right here. Johnson in the backfield.
Sneak it.
That's a
Nice
QB
job.
sneak.
That's
Hendricks, great job. And there it
First
is
down.
right there. Oxford with the first down.
He knows it too.
I tell you what, I can't say enough good things about this quarterback, Jack Hendricks. He's come in here. We've seen him a couple times at home. Doesn't look like he feels any pressure whatsoever. He's ice cold in his veins, makes play after play. This is a running team. When he gets the opportunity, though, he makes the most of it.
He does. He really does. And huge first down there by Jack, just taking the ball. Somebody was really good at that, Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Right behind the center, before the Bush push even existed.
How about their head coach, Zach Line?
Yeah.
He could do it, too.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that bad.
Great callback. I love it.
1st and 10 from the 47. Why not run with Johnson one more time? You got some laundry on the field.
77.
And you know what? That's one of those things when you're in the film room with your team, which you know this is going to be one of those point of emphasis.
Yep.
You can't make those types of penalties when you got the ball game all but wrapped up.
Yeah. Again, when you have the lead, you got to limit the little mistakes, right?
Yeah, 100%.
On that particular play, 77 had a pretty solid block, but unfortunately ended up taking to the ground and held on to him, and that's going to draw a flag quite a bit, unfortunately. I think Coach Lyon's going to take his first time out of the half.
Well,
or second rather. Not sure.
Well, I tell you what, Travis, we went over a few of our keys to this game today, and to get a victory, you were going to have to play not a perfect ball game, but good on both sides of the ball. I love what I've seen from the defense. Yes, Lake Orion was able to move it in the second half, but really what they've done on both sides of the ball, moving the ball right now with that offense, Johnson behind the quarterback there, it's been the recipe for success for this team. If you're going to win, it's not always going to be pretty, but you got to do this. This is the recipe. Run that ball.
Yeah. And there's a referee trying to talk to Coach Line. He was on the mic. I was trying to understand what he was saying. It sounded like Lake Orion declined the penalty,
which is interesting. And we have somebody asking for the score. Right now, it's 21 Oxford, Lake Orion 18, just 1:17 left in this ball game. So thanks for tuning in, everybody out there. This has been a lot of fun. It's not over yet, but it's definitely on the side of the Wildcats. They're feeling pretty good, and in that student section as well. So Hendricks under center. Hands off to Johnson. Johnson to the left side, gets through a tackle, fights through a couple other guys. That was big time right there. There was about 3 guys that met him.
That's going to be Lake Orion's last timeout,
and that's it. And listen, you talked about it. They had to take 2 timeouts in their first drive in the second half.
Yeah.
If you had those in your pocket,
yeah, this is a different ball
game.
This is a different ball game. Easily a different ball game.
Yeah, it's you never know what you're going to need at the end of a ball game. And listen, we've said it already. They're not out there with Tristan Hill. That's a big story in this game because although Brody Thompson has played well, I have to think this is probably his first start. So I know of this year, of course, and unless Hill was hurt the last couple of years, Thompson has not had a lot of snaps out there unless the Dragons were absolutely dominating in the other team. So I thought he came out here and played pretty darn well.
Yeah, and saw flashes of greatness from Anderson Adams, too.
Yeah.
Phenomenal throwing motion, great-looking ball, and really kind of picked the defense apart on all of his throws, too,
yep.
Which was kind of surprising to not see him in that final drive. They just stuck to the run, which obviously was working for them, but you also got to think, I need to cover a lot of ground and quick. What's the easiest way to do that? Usually by the air. Unless you're Oxford and you got Luke Johnson in the backfield.
That's it. So this would be the first OAA Red victory on the season for Oxford if they can hold on. Hendricks hands off to his big back. Johnson picking up positive yardage, fighting through defenders.
Out of bounds.
And he does get out of bounds, or did he? No, they're still winding that clock.
Let's see,
and listen, there's been a little bit of confusion, but it looks like Lake Orion wanted that clock to stop.
Yeah, they did.
But if he's falling down before he goes out of bounds,
now a head referee was just
that's what I'm saying. There's been a little bit of confusion down there.
Very much so.
We'll try to clear it up for you as we learn with you all watching here, but a little bit of a dilemma. Oxford says wind that clock as you see Zach Line out there on the field. Lake Orion said, hey, listen, he went out of bounds. We'll get some clarification. Wow. That's an interesting call. And it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Coach Line's asking for clarification over there. Even Champaign is looking like, what are we talking about here, sir?
Well, I tell you what that means. Lake Orion's going to get this ball back.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make a lot of sense because that clock was winding, and to put it back to 106 or 105, it's winding down now.
Okay.
But with 35 seconds left in the play clock, Lake Orion's going to have time.
Yeah. The only thing we don't do here is kick it out of bounds. If it's a fair catch, that's one thing, but don't kick it out of bounds.
Well, listen, this has been exciting. We do want to thank Barron Industries for sponsoring this broadcast. And listen, this has been one heck of a ball game. Living up to Barron Industries with 100 years, over 100 years in business. And here we go, 4th down and 6, 30 seconds left, 3 seconds left on the play clock. And we're going to get a timeout. And that's a good job. That's
Yeah.
a good job by Oxford.
Crucial.
Wind that thing down.
Crucial time management there, and that is really where your coaching staff is talking to each other, especially from up in the press box and down below. Hey, somebody needs to tell me if I'm not looking at the clock to take a look at the clock or be chirping in my ear to call timeout, or hey, everybody on the field signal timeout at that 2-second mark on the clock.
So if you're if you're in the huddle right now, what are you telling your guys? Because you're not going for this, right? You're using your special teams with Katie. You're punting this ball.
This
right?
is not a Dan Campbell moment by any means. This is your textbook. Get a good snap, get a good kick. Get a good feel for it off your foot. Make a good kick. Put it inside the 10. Give them a lot of room that they've got to go. And probably by the time he catches the ball, going to be around the 23-second mark.
And and just like that, this game is going down to the wire. So played perfectly was Lake Orion. This is probably the best case scenario. Here's Katie with a guy there. That's blocked. And Lake Orion falls on it. Oh, boy. Absolute nightmare moment there for the Wildcats. You could not have that happen. 21.5 seconds left in this ball game. And the Dragons are going to take over at the 37 with a chance to hurl this in the end zone a few times. That's tough.
That is
absolutely wild. Wow. This rivalry has had everything. I mean, you're speechless, Travis. That doesn't happen.
No. Oxford sideline trying to get the fans back into it, and they are here on their feet, folks.
Oh, this one's loud. Check your pulses, everybody. This one it's got everything you could ask for, and it's going down to the wire. 1st and 10 from the 37.
Cooper's back in, 16, our side of the field.
Cooper's back in. Thompson taking that snap, but I think Oxford called timeout. They did.
Yeah, they did.
And that's a smart play. That's your last timeout. Hey, show us what you're going to do out there. And maybe they come back out with the same formation or they change it up. But that's a good call from Zach Line and the coaching staff.
Again, there was some sort of key that they saw that they didn't like and or just wasn't comfortable with the defensive play call that they had, whether that was to bring pressure or not. You got to think that there's going to be some sort of QB spy with your linebackers. You're going to have safeties up over the top and deep, probably in the end zone, making sure that, we're safe.
And you know what? This coaching staff said, hey, listen, they're going to send everybody. They're going to send everybody.
Yeah.
And Lake Orion just able to capitalize. It is loud in here. It is absolutely so loud. I mean, that decibel's all the way up to, I don't know, 100%. Call it whatever you want. But this is loud here in Wildcat Stadium, and I don't even think Lake Orion can hear it right now.
Yeah, they're looking for 21-5 on the clock.
And they're still trying to change that clock. So fans not liking it. They want this ball snapped, and rightfully so. There's 2:15 on the snaps. We'll get there. We're working on the clock.
There it is.
Hey,
nice job, clock operator. Nice
we're
job.
All human.
Yeah.
That's not a job I'd want to do right now. So 21-5 on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 37. Thompson backing up. Got all the time in the world. Throws up to a receiver, but he's out of bounds.
Yeah,
he was out of bounds. Nothing. Now that does stop the clock at 14-8. And really, you got a time. You probably have time for one more play before you go to the end zone, and you have to get out of bounds. So guard those sidelines. And Oxford's got guys deep here. Not a lot of pressure here, but
no.
He's going to have some time.
I thought there was going to be a holding call on against Krupa, but on Krupa was getting held just like Aiden Hutchinson does on Sundays.
4.5 sacks. How about that? Here we go. 2nd down and 10. 14 seconds left. Thompson looking for somebody. Moving around, throws deep over the middle. Couple Wildcats there. Oh, boy, almost coming down with it was Cooper. and it goes out of his hands. Oh, it doesn't get any closer than that.
Number 6, Tristan Hill.
Tristan Hill.
That was Tristan. I tell you what, he came down with that ball, and the force of his body hitting the ground knocked that ball out. He almost broke the hearts of Wildcats faithful. Oh, boy.
Does Tristan Hill stay on the field? Because you got to wonder. They're going to go for a field goal to tie it.
I mean, you're at...
This is 50?
This is
No.
this is over 50.
Yeah, 54 yards.
I don't know about this one, but hey, if this kid hits this is the ball game, folks. 3rd down and 10. A 50-yard bomb. It's up. It's got the distance. It's over to the left. Oh,
It's
good.
pushed
Wildcats win. Oh, what a win for the Wildcats. 21-18. This rivalry is staying with the Cats today. Your 00 trophy going to the Cats. Travis, what a win for this Cats.
Oh, man, did we make it close. The goosebumps up here right now thinking, all right, if we're going to go to OT, nope, doesn't matter. Pushes it left. Incredible game. Not quite how we thought it was going to go in the second half, but we'll take it. A huge W and a good one for the OA Red standings, us getting our first win in the...
Well, you know how they say it takes a village? Well, it takes a whole family here to put a broadcast together. I want to thank everybody that was a part of this broadcast here with OCTV, because I tell you what, it was a special one. It was a special one, Travis. Listen, we had just about everything. We had just about everything here. We had plays by the defense, plays by the offense, special teams. You had a touchdown with 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That brought this to a 3-point game. Oxford then unable to get that first down near the end there. Clock stops. Lake Orion comes up with it as we're here now. And I tell you what, this was just about as fun as it sounded. You had everything. A rivalry matchup, but you know what? Today, it was all Cats.
All Cats, especially in that first half. We came out and absolutely punched them in the mouth, for lack of better words. It was great to see us mix up the play calls offensively and defensively, bringing pressure when we needed to. Guys stepped up to the plate and really made some huge plays. Of course, you got your Luke Johnson and your Jack Hendricks out there on the offense, but defensively, you got those Anderson Krupas. You got the Brendan Cass before he got injured, and they all contributed drastically to a very solid win against a very good team.
Well, wrapping this up, we said the previous 10 ball games, 7-3 in favor of Lake Orion. Take it all away. It doesn't matter. It's what happened here tonight. And under the lights, the Wildcats got this victory. 21-18, the final. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Want to thank everybody part of this broadcast. All you viewers out there, be sure to tune in the rest of the season. It's going to be a special one. For Travis, I'm Dave for OCTV saying thank you so much for tuning in for Wildcats victory. Have a good night, everybody.
Go Cats!
Barron Industries, located here in Oxford, Michigan, and serving many of the world's leading manufacturing companies that rely on Barron Industries for turnkey solutions for many of the most complex and safety-critical industries, celebrating 100 years of metal casting excellence. Since 1983, Barron Industries has been a trusted partner to the world's leading aerospace and defense companies, proud sponsor of tonight's game.